Welcome back, moms, to Healthy Mom Club Full Body Strength, day 3. Let's go ahead and get started by checking in on our posture and our space. So just making sure you have a nice healthy amount of room beside you, about 3 feet. You're welcome to travel some of these movements across your space if it allows. And then for posture, let's bring those shoulders down and away from our ears, pinching those shoulder blades together like we've got a $1 million check in between those shoulder blades. Tilting that pelvis forward as though we've got a bowl of water and we don't want to spill it. So we're closing those scissors, hugging baby up and in, and keeping that water nice and close by. Feel free to take breaks if you need. Let's go ahead and get started by reaching right on in, bringing those hands up above our heads, and let's exhale, just drop those down to your sides. One more time, breathing in, reaching right on up. And on the exhale, let's lean it very gently to the left, stretching those lat muscles along our sides. Inhale, bring yourself back to center, and exhale, head off to the right. And with all these stretches, you want to feel a gentle lengthening, a gentle stretch, but no pain, and we never want to bounce in our stretches. Dropping those hands down, I want you to have a soft bend in those knees, bend forward as far as your body will allow. Just opening up those hamstrings, very gentle forward bend. If you are able, see how far you can go. If not, just nice right angle or as far as your body will allow. On the exhale, let's bring ourselves back up, and we're going to go ahead and take things down to the floor for that world's greatest stretch. So let's bring that right leg out in front of us in a deep lunging position, stepping back nice and wide with the left. And let's go ahead, place those hands on the inside of that leg. And if your balance allows, let's open up towards the left. Feeling that nice deep stretch in those hamstrings, those glutes. A gentle twist through that thoracic spine. All right, and let's inhale, bring those hands back down, switching sides. Left leg comes forward in a very deep lunge, pressing those hips forward and through. Bring those hands down to the inside. Then let's open up to the right. Great big deep stretch through those hammies, through those glutes. And remembering to breathe. All right, let's bring ourselves back down. Knees back in beside us. Sitting forward on those knees. Let's go ahead. Drop our bums down onto our heels. Bring those hands out in front of us in child's pose. Pressing every single finger of our hands into that mat. Dropping those shoulders away from our ears. Alrighty. Taking a few breaths here. And on our next breath, let's bring ourselves up onto all fours. And we know these ones, we're going to do our cat-cows, engaging that deep core. So first, let's drop those bellies to the floor, relax everything. We don't need to arch that back, just relax everything. And on the next inhale, let's hug baby up and in. Bring those belly buttons up and in towards our spine. Arching our backs like a cat, hissing. Or like a lowercase n. Whatever reference makes the most sense. And then let's drop it down, let it all go. And on the exhale, let's bring those belly buttons up and in, hugging baby up and in. Rounding that spine. And drop it down. One more time, bring it up and in. And then drop it down. All right, let's slowly bring ourselves back up to standing. Couple more dynamic warm-ups and we'll get right into it. First off, let's do some hip openers. So bringing that knee up and out like we're climbing off a fence or we're treading water kind of backwards. Getting things moving slowly but surely. And you're welcome to travel this one around your space if it allows. Go 5 paces one way, send it the other way. All right, let's switch sides, bring those hips up, in and over. climbing onto that bike seat, onto that fence. All right, let's bring ourselves back to center. Grab a drink of water, moms. Let's go ahead and get right into those working sets. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it. Grab those weights if you've got them, those cans of soup, whatever you have on hand. And let's start ourselves up with some sumo thrusters. So we're going to face those toes outwards, have our knees tracking in the same direction. Shoulders are back and down, hugging baby, up and in, engaging that deep core. Bring those arms up to your shoulders. We're going to drop it down like a squat. And on the way up, shoulder press for our thrusters. This is a nice compound move, so we're working smarter and not harder. Dropping it down, pressing it up. Because whenever do any of our movements require one of the fundamental human movements, a lot of them are combinations of the two. All right, we got 15 more seconds of these. Almost there. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop those weights down, grab those bands. And for our pulling motion, our first pull, we're going to do some band pull-aparts. So holding that band just wider than shoulder width apart, bring it down across your sternum and back up. Making sure to bring those shoulders down and away from your ears. Pinching those shoulder blades together. 15 more seconds of these, we're almost there. We're just trying to counteract that natural kind of forward bend that comes with parenting. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hold on to those bands. And we're going to take them and place them underneath our feet. Feet are just about hip width apart. Not super, super wide. We're going to have a soft bend in those knees, gripping those bands at that comfy resistance, hinging at the hips. We're going to do some deadlifts. Keeping those shoulders up and away from our ears. And what is our pelvis doing when we are at full extension? Will we be spilling stuff out of the front? Let's close those scissors. Hug baby up and in. And watch my chin. See how I am looking about 4 feet in front of me, 6 feet in front of me. Nice double chin for everyone. Wherever you may be, whatever time you're working out. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There you have it. That is set A. Let's do that guy one more time. Setting aside those bands right into those thrusters. Making sure we're setting ourselves up. Bring those heels together, toes facing away. Drop it like a squat, up and press. And remembering to breathe. Taking breaks if you ever need. Listen to your body. And what intensity do we want to be at? We want to be at the intensity at which we can talk, but not sing. Lucky you guys, you don't have to hear me sing. We got 15 more seconds of these, halfway there. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop those weights down, grab those bands. And we're going to go ahead, bringing those bands just across our shoulders, pulling them apart, pinching those shoulder blades together. And as always, let's hug baby up and in. Watching my posture, watching my pelvis. Our core is there to generate stability in the presence of motion. It doesn't just have to do sit-ups. Ten more seconds, we're so close. And 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Let it go. Get those bands under our feet for those deadlifts. Feet are shoulder width apart. Let's screw those legs into the floor. Soft bend forward, tuck in those chins. And we're going to hinge forward. Banded deadlifts. And we really want to make sure that the band isn't doing all the work on the way down. We resist the band through every part of this movement. If we let it do all the work, we're cheating ourselves of the entire eccentric, the entire lengthening portion. All right, 30 more seconds. Strengthening those glutes, strengthening those booties. There it is, first one of this class. I said glutes. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, everyone, grab that water. Give yourself a little break, have a little drink, and I'll see you for set 2. Alrighty, now that we're all hydrated, nice and rested, let's get into circuit B, starting off with some side lunges. Now I'm going to show you this move with a weight in my hand. You can either hold them like shopping bags or go completely body weight, whatever feels the best for you. But we're going to have that soft bend in those knees, stepping out to the side, deep lunge, and bringing ourselves back to center, and that is 1 rep. I like to do these 30 on one side, 30 on the other, but you're welcome to alternate if that's more comfortable for you. Stepping out nice and wide. Whatever your space allows, but remembering to brace with that deep core, keeping that chest nice and proud. All right, if you are doing one side at a time, we're going to switch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring yourself to center, switching sides, stepping out nice and wide, sitting that booty back down, pressing through all 4 corners of those feet. Nice side lunges. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring ourselves to center. Let's work on that pulling motion. We're going to go both hands at the same time this time. We're going to do some alternating bicep curls. I like to do them classic. If you prefer, you can do a hammer curl, where you bring the cap of the weight to that head of your shoulder. For those biceps, work with those lats in every pulling movement, so we can't ignore them. Making sure we've got that soft bend in those knees, hugging maybe up and in. And what is that pelvis doing? Another phrase where you should take a drink of water every time I say that. Closing those scissors. We don't want that bowl of water, that bowl of popcorn to be spilling out the front. And we've got 15 more seconds of these. And then we're going to get onto our lateral raises. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep that soft bend in those feet. We're going to pivot upwards, bring those pinkies up to the ceiling, drop it down. Now notice how my hands aren't going past shoulder height. And it's a very controlled movement. I'm not swinging my hands around like a jumping jack. Nice and controlled. We take the ego right out of it. This should be hard. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Now remember those single leg deadlifts? We're going to do those again for our hinge motion in this circuit. So pitching forward. If you are able, you can have that traveling leg move, or we can just plant it behind us like a little kickstand. Sliding those weights down our shin and our quadricep muscle. And then hinging forward. Think of yourself as a hinge on a door. Bring yourself back upward. All right, 10 more seconds. We're going to switch sides in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch sides. That working leg now becomes our little kickstand, our traveling leg. We're going to slide that weight down the front, hinge it back up. Pressing through all 4 corners of your foot. Hinging, bringing those hips forward and through. Almost there, 15 more seconds of this one. And then we're back to the start for those side lunges. Halfway there through set B. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back into those side lunges. I'm going to do these ones body weight this time, just so you can see what I do with my hands. Bring them up kind of like a T-Rex. Off to the side. Keeping this non-working leg nice and light. Pivoting off of it. And pressing through all 4 corners of this working leg. And we're going to switch in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching sides. Nice deep lunge to the side. Springing back up. Fifteen more seconds. We're halfway there. And 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead, grab those dumbbells. Alternating bicep curls. Keeping that soft bend in those knees. Bracing, hugging baby up and in. And really controlled movement. We're not just throwing these weights around. If you want to switch it up, do a hammer curl. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lateral raises. Hugging baby up and in, closing those scissors. Almost like one of those wine openers that does the little T motion. And we've got 20 more seconds of these. We're almost there. All right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead into those single leg deadlifts. So I'm going to have my right foot back as my little kickstand first, screwing that left into the ground. Weights go along that shin, hinge up. Almost there. This is the last working set. We've got 15 more seconds before we switch sides. Make them count. Squeeze those glutes. Press through with those feet through all 4 corners. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch sides. Dropping that weight down across the front of our shins. Pressing through all 4 corners. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself back up to center. Set down those weights. Pick up that water bottle. Have a quick break. I'll see you for a core and a cool down. All right, now that we're nice and hydrated, let's cool things down. So breathing right on in, reaching up. Let's lean it to the left. And on the next inhale, let's take it to the right. Bringing those hands down, let's just very gently arm circle. And then reaching that right hand across, hugging it close to our bodies. You can let your hand just wiggle around here or hug it to yourself, whatever's most comfortable. Switching sides. All right, now let's open up those chests. If you'd like, you can lace those fingers behind your back, pull those hands away. Or if you're near a door frame, take your forearm, press along the door frame and just step through. Just opening up that crunch that kind of happens with parenthood. All right, very gently, let's go ahead, take it to the floor for a little bit of core work. So we're gonna go ahead and start ourselves off on all fours. And we know them, we hopefully love them. Let's do some cat-cows. So hugging baby up and in, rounding that spine. And exhale, drop it down. One more time. Rounding that spine, we're a lowercase n, we're a cat. And then release it all down, drop those bellies to the floor. One more time. Dropping bellies to the floor. From here, I want you to widen your stance with those legs a little bit so they're just about shoulder width apart. Same with those hands. And we're gonna go ahead and do some kickbacks. So starting with that right leg, let's kick all the way back, staying stable on our 3 other limbs. Bring it back to center, that is 1 rep. And we'll go ahead and rep it out on one side, and then we'll do the other. Really driving that heel out and behind. We're not opening ourselves up. We're staying nice and square with the floor. And 5, 4, hugging baby up and in, bracing with those abs, but remembering to breathe. 2, 1. Switching sides, that other leg comes up, kicking that heel all the way back. Glute kickbacks. All right, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. We're going to add one more level to this. we're gonna do some bird dogs. So just like that glute kickback, just gonna adjust this chair out of my way here. We're going to extend one leg out behind us, but we're also going to extend one arm, so the opposite arm of the leg that's kicking out. We're going to extend it out in front of us and bring them both back to meet in the middle. Then we're going to rep it out. Bracing with those abs, hugging baby up and in. Imagining that string from pelvic bone to pelvic bone is drawing up and in towards our diaphragm. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's switch sides. Extending opposite arm, opposite leg. Meeting them in the middle. Hugging baby up and in and remembering to breathe. We got a lot going on here. Right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop those hands down. Drop those bums down onto our heels. Let's dig forward with those hands, pressing all fingers into the mat. Child's pose. Very gently, let's bring ourselves back up. Sitting down on those bums, let's bring our right foot out in front of us, folding forward to stretch out those hamstrings. Very gently, let's bring ourselves back to center, switching sides. Left leg out in front of us, folding forward as far as your body will allow. On the next inhale, bring yourself back up to center. And one last time with me, moms. Let's breathe right on in. Lace those fingers together. And exhale, drop it down. And there you have it. That has been Full Body Strength Day 3. I'll see you next time.